Hi there guys, I'm super excited to present the latest and the greatest offering from TVS.
Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation.
This is the RTR 310 that had a lot of hype surrounding it when it was launched internationally. Global launch happened in Thailand, so that was one of the greatest launches or one of the finest launches I had attended, and we had a lovely time. And the machine was absolutely stellar in terms of unheard of features ever being featured on a naked motorcycle. Now it's been quite some time, almost 2 years since that happened, and they are celebrating nearly 6 million Apaches being sold and 42 years of racing legacy. And now we have this upgraded variant, and they have also revised the pricing to make it insane value. Imagine a price of price of a 250cc motorcycle for a 310cc fully loaded beyond imagination track weapon, as well as a absolute street weapon, or you can say it is a plaything. I mean, you can slay the competition, you can play all over the place. That's the kind of the freestyle fun it packs within itself. Now new colorways have been introduced. Gone is the matte treatment. You have glossy finish, you have keyless start. Now that is unheard of for a bike in this price point. And then lot of first in segment features, a lot of new features that have been introduced with this upgraded variant. What are those? First, to begin with, you have something called drag torque control, which allows you better stability while you're doing faster downshifts. Yes, we have the slipper clutch, but then there's some sort of inconsistency or uncertainty in the bike, especially when you're riding it really aggressively. For spirited riders, you already have dynamic stability control, the race tuned dynamic stability control, which does a brilliant job in trying to offer supreme stability no matter how you thrash this machine. But then they have added a little bit of added safety and made it even more comprehensive by offering the drag torque control, which makes the bike really stable in terms of when the engine braking is happening in a very intense manner. Then you also have launch control. Launch control again is a track spec feature, and that is something that you'll enjoy on a racetrack, and I would never recommend you trying it on city streets or public roads. But then again, because it's racing legacy and the pure racing DNA that runs through the every element of the RTR 310, you have all those track focused elements finding its way to a production motorcycle. And then what is a little disappointing though is there is no revision in power or torque. Now how I wish, now we have the competition moving forward, really getting aggressive with more power, more features, more equipment. But then here, yes, they've added a lot of electronic aids, they've made it technologically very advanced. But what people really thrive for, what people really crave for, is more power and more torque, because that is what adds the adrenaline and takes the performance factor to a different level altogether. So the power and torque remain the same. You get the same 37 PS and 28 Newton meters of torque, 6-speed gearbox, bi-directional quick shifter. All this was already introduced, and the cooling seat, that is retained. Now the additions aesthetically that you can see is the new colorways. You have new handguards, and apart from that you also have this clear clutch, which was introduced in the RR 310. So that again is visually very astounding and very satisfying and gives you a premium feel. But looking at the design silhouette, it was one of the champion designs, especially in the yellow color, which was its poster color. Yes, it resembles the Bumblebee to a great extent. So you had that Bumblebee kind of a feel with dual LED headlamps, LED turn position lamps, then beautiful yellow front fender, again with a beautiful accent with dual tone color scheme and kind of a layered finish to give you better durability with time. Again, Michelin Road 5 tires, then you have the pedal discs front and rear, gold anodized USD forks to give you superb front end feel as you push it to its very limits, be it on the streets or on the track. Then, courtesy of BTO or build to order, you have fully adjustable front suspension that you can choose to go with. But what I really love is the pricing. So the pricing is starts from 2.39 lakhs. Now that is Duke 250 territory, because Duke 250 is priced at around 2.30 lakhs ex-showroom. So you're getting a fully loaded, beyond imagination, technologically packed, almost all the tech that you see in the race machines being packed into a street machine and made available for the price of a 250cc bike. That is insane value. So you got to celebrate that. And I think TVS is actually celebrating their racing, domination and legacy in grand style with the RTR 310. Now, looking at the chassis structure, you have a hybrid chassis layout. You have the trellis frame up here, and you have the aluminum subframe, which adds on to better agility, better handling, better flexibility, and also better flickability and maneuverability through city traffic. And as you see, this is more about being a stunt machine, like a stunter's dream machine. That's what they actually projected it to be. I mean, even if you see the promos and the ads, people are pulling off wheelies and stoppies all over the place. It's so well balanced in terms of weight distribution. It's well sorted in terms of chassis orientation, and in terms of equipment, you get top-notch equipment with the USD forks and pedal discs, and race-tuned monoshock at the back, again working in conjunction with the chassis, and a beautifully laid out swing arm to give you superb handling characteristics. Now the seat is again well laid out. You kind of sit into the motorcycle. The seat height is not too intimidating, so even average height riders feel comfortable on this. The pillion seat is not very much practically usable. It's slightly lifted up, so pillions might not like to park their posterior on this place for long. If for shorter commutes, I think it is possible, but for long commutes, this might bring a spot of bother. But you have neatly laid out again grab rails here, beautifully laid out tail lamp cluster, almost like the tail of a predator sticking out, and giving you the feel of a muscular apex predator that is ready to pounce on its prey. And again, the tank, the way it is chiseled, meticulously crafted to perfection. You also have good tank recesses to grip the tank, especially while you're pushing the bike hard. Then of course the liquid cooling and the thermal management, the heat management. I had this for long term, the previous gen motorcycle, and I have to tell you, I did enjoy every ride on it. And it is meant to be ridden fast. It is meant to be pushed to its limits, because that's where it feels at home. If you're going to ride it nice and mellow and slow, I don't think it feels comfortable there, because it's meant for play and it is meant to be thrashed around, and that is where it feels at home. And be it the equipment, the exhaust note, the state of tune of the engine, everything is so the engine map, even the engine map gets a revised kind of a tuning to make it even more punchier, with better low to mid-range torque and more usable torque across the rev band. Again, dual overhead camshaft to give you that aggressive throttle response. And then of course slipper clutch, ride by wire, you name it, this one has everything beyond imagine. If you can come forward, we'll have a look at the cluster with the onboard IMU. I think it ensures you get cornering ABS, cornering traction control, cornering cruise control as well. And then of course you have the key. This is how you start and stop. So you press this with the key fob in your pocket. You can just start the ignition by pressing this, and you have the startup animation. Racing since 1982, so it's 2025, so almost 42 years plus, almost close to 43 years of racing legacy. And then you have the standard layout with the urban mode. Then you can actually get into the main menu and change the riding mode from rain, sport, track or urban. If you want to get into track, then you also have supermoto. Okay, and I think we can turn off traction control in okay, ride control, traction control can be turned off in this thing, quick shifter can be turned off, drag torque control can be turned off, Dynamic stability control has all these features. You have cornering ABS, cornering traction control, cornering cruise control, of course quick shifter is there, dynamic lamp control. Now when was that you heard something like this on a street fighter priced at around 2.5 lakhs? It's unbelievable value. Tire pressure monitoring, adjustable suspension, rear wheel lift off protection, wheelie control, and slope dependent, almost like a hill descent control on a motorcycle. That's insane tech for a bike at this price point. So all this can be again turned on at the flick of a switch, so you don't long press anything. Lamp control is there, display control is there, you have the brightness, you have day and night mode, you have custom widgets and accessories control like connectivity for turn-by-turn navigation, performance record, top speed recorded, and all those things. You have coolant temperature, range, and the cruise control that you've set. Okay, we are in rain, and we can rain and urban. There are two modes that you can choose from, but as for the rest of the modes like sport and track, these get unlocked once you complete 1000 kilometers on the motorcycle. So what's new for RTR 310? Let's sum it up quickly. Visual aesthetics: you have the clear clutch cover, you have the hand guards, you have new colorways that look far more vibrant and far more visually pleasing. And actually the elements of the motorcycle come alive more vividly in the gloss paint schemes when compared to the matte one. You also have keyless ignition, and in terms of electronic aids, you have drag torque control, you have wheelie control, and you have launch control, and all those goodies added apart from the existing truckload of electronics like bidirectional quick shifter, cornering ABS, cornering cruise control, cornering traction control, and whatnot. I've run you through all that. So if you like what you see and want to see more pure automobile content, stay tuned. Next is the ride impression. I've tried to feature all the color variants as well in the cinematics the sync feature. And if you what do you think about this as a value proposition? At this price point, the base model starts from 2.39 lakhs ex-showroom, whereas the top spec goes up to 2.75 to 2.8 lakhs. So do you think this is a force to reckon with? Take on the likes of Duke 250 or Duke 390. What would be your take on this? What would you prefer given the opportunity? Feel free to comment below and let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, God bless, and ride safe.